known as Julia Holcomb, claims sexual assault starting at 16, coercion of an abortion, and involuntary infamy by Tyler.
Okay, when I first heard this, I thought this was stupid. And I'm gonna keep that conclusion that this is still stupid. A 65-year-old woman is now bringing sexual harassment and charges against Steven Tyler, frontman of the timeless rock band Aerosmith, for an illicit affair that happened over 30, 40 years ago. Now, just to give you some context, the lawsuit was filed December the 27th, and they're using a 2019 California law that gave adult victims of childhood sexual assaults a 3-year window to file past claims. And this Saturday, New Year's Eve, is when this all ends. And, you're just going to have to forever hold your tongue. So a lot of questions that I would have is, okay, why did you wait so long for this? And don't give me this crap about, you trying to blame the victim. And no. I mean, these things have got to make sense to some degree, or otherwise, hold your mouth. I am totally feel bad for the pain and anguish that has happened to this person. I truly do. I could actually speak to several references in my own life. However, there has to be a time and place, not just I want to go ahead and get this in before it just totally goes away. And you had 3 years to think about this, to do it. So what was the catalyst that made you decide to jump the river and do this now? So again, I said, to be blunt, I think this is stupid. When I first heard about it, I thought it was stupid. I'm thinking it was just another girl that wants to try to get paid for a misspent youth. Then I did some more research into this, and you find out the story is a little bit more harrowing than what I first thought it was. But I still came back to the same conclusion. I think this is stupid. I think this is unnecessary. I think this woman should just find some healing within herself if she hasn't done so already. Now, I also must question, why isn't this being brought to your parents' doorstep? Because if you do your research and everything, you will find out that her parents signed over their rights to her because she was 16 years old. Steven was about 24, 25. They signed over their rights to him and made him a guardian so that he could take her across state lines and it wouldn't be interstate trafficking, this type of thing. So what do you think was going to happen to your 16-year-old daughter with a rock and roll man? They were just going to go to church service together? What do you think was going to happen? This is not something brand new. This mess has been happening in rock and roll and all forms of music since the beginning of time. So what do you think was going to happen? And now it's the tradition is still continuing into hip hop. Do I say I like that? Hell no. But this sort of happens when you're doing things like this, signing your daughter over to a grown man, and expecting them to take care of your daughter the way that you would. You as a parent would not have sex with your daughter. For you to think that this man was not going to engage with sex with your daughter, why the hell else were you taking him across borders? And what blame is she laying to her parents for this? Is what I want to know, because I think this whole situation all starts with the parents and good parenting, and to say, daughter, I love you. I don't care how much you're in love with this man. This is just a fantasy. I have much bigger dreams for you than to be some little Cupid doll, love doll for a rock and roll man that's going to get tired of you and move on to the next one, which is what happens and what happened to this young lady. Now, there are some ugly things that happened here where she was 5 months pregnant. She was caught in a house fire. And at the hospital, she was able to get out of the hospital. Somehow an abortion was performed on her, getting rid of the said baby. These things, I feel so bad. I really do. But still, this is somewhat of a part of the rock and roll lifestyle. This is not something that is brand new. You can go to Ted Nugent. If you ever saw the behind the music specials that VH1 used to do, they did one on Ted Nugent. He had a 16-year-old girl that traveled around with him, and they even talked to her. Elvis Presley, when he got with Priscilla, she was underage. Roman Polanski, do we need to even talk about that? That has lots of movies and documentaries about that one. And Jimmy Page had a youngster too. Am I saying this is right? No, I'm not saying it's right. But a lot of these things all go back to your parents. Okay? They go back to your parents. Should these guys have done this? No. But think about all the songs and rap songs now that you hear about having underage sex with. So it is the rock and roll and hip hop thing to constantly talk about underage groupies. As long as you are making these songs popular and cool and hip to sing, this crap will still happen because people will still fantasize with this, and you're going to have parents that are going to throw their precious daughters in harm's way for no reason, no good reason at all. Now, yes, I am defending Steven Tyler on this one here, because if this was so important for this woman, why wasn't this done ages ago? I would have to say, what is it for you now to bring this up? There are thousands and thousands of victims of pedophiles, serious victims of pedophiles, that know that they will never, ever see anything happen to their predator. And they have to live with that. You've lived with it for such a long time. What is this doing for you? Okay, this is Conservative Life on Mars. Please let me know what you think of this. Do you think this is stupid like I do, or you think there's a greater meaning behind this type of action?